Hi you guys, my name is Oshun the Great, and welcome to my beautiful channel. So today, I first want to say David is not innocent. So there's been a lot of people who are kind of framing this case. Maybe some of you guys have seen that LAPD said they're having a hard time with um, seeing if his case is a murder case or not. And everyone's like, well, she didn't put herself in the trunk and everything, for example. And I don't think we should frame him as innocent because we're still trying to normalize too much like pedo behavior and everything. But I was keeping up with some channels, and they did make a great point that if she was roaming around with like fake IDs, they can use that as an alibi for him. Um, it just seems too easy. Like a lot of stuff is being covered up with evidence online. Now they're painting Celeste as like a troubled teen, which, even if that's the case, it doesn't mean she deserved to die or to be murdered. And we're still glazing over the point that, none of this should have really happened, and how did she still end up in his car and in his circle? All of that. It's fucking insane. So my theory is either LAPD is corrupt as fuck, or it's too early, or it's a combination of things. So some people believe it's like a bigger conspiracy to it of human trafficking and police being involved and trying to cover their asses. I feel like if this was an average guy in everyday life, he would have been arrested in day one in America. Like when someone finds a body in your proximity, they arrest you because you're seen as dangerous as fuck until they can prove otherwise. And so the fact that David is kind of like just willy nilly going out and about and going about his regular life, that's already like some sense of favoritism to me. Um, because when you're famous and wealthy, for example, and I already don't trust LAPD or police kings, for example. And the way I feel like the justice system works in America is like we already have a society that is very highly corrupt, that glorifies violence and corruption. And the only reason we get justice sometimes is to paint a picture that justice is fair and served and all this bullshit. So, some people think it's a bigger conspiracy. Could be that he's trying to bribe people, bribe police. Um, I was trying to figure out in my other readings and other videos of mm, like trying to figure out a timing of when he would be arrested, kind of like two days, 2 weeks, 2 years, or whatever. I think the max I said was 2 years. But honestly, I was reading in the midst of everything being up in the air, so it's really hard to say. And it's not unusual that some cases are like try end up being solved like years later, or covered up initially, or misread initially. So it's fucking sus. um, so if he was a normal man, he would have been arrested. I don't like the emphasis on innocent because nothing about this case was innocent. He can act like she wasn't as young as 14 and everything, possibly get away with it. Um, it just shows how corrupt everything is, in my opinion. Um, what else? Mm, yeah, the fake IDs and painting her as fucking a bad kid is bugging me lately, because they can definitely use that to get off on this case, because people don't take runaways seriously. Um, what else? And the whole point of him being innocent, like he was still grooming her. He still didn't report anything about her missing. The fact that people were trying to hide it, and what if they never found her body? Things like that. And what else? Mm, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. Just the whole not taking her seriously. But I guess we'll have to see what happens. Some people think it's just too early. Some people have faith in the police. But I thought it was already weird that they were moving so slow, and already kind of was feeling intuitively that they were like working with him in a way of like, are you sure you did this? Are you sure you meant to do this? Wasn't it an accident? Like, very weird. And some people paint her as shy, and some people now they're painting her as very troubled, like having her leak all her problematic arguments that come out and everything. Something I wanted to say too about psychic readings and the celebrity realm. The celebrity realm is so corrupt and fucked, and it's so full of trickery and corruption. And it's so hard to read corruption energy as a psychic because psychics are already like largely discredited. And what they do is like, because I pride myself on integrity and telling the truth. But what I notice that they do is like when I predict something or read something based in integrity and truth, is if something is in corruption, they almost always do the opposite, again, to discredit psychics. And so it's very hard to read that realm. And it's on purpose because they don't want people having too much power and all these things. So all these realms are so fucked. Like energy can shift, things happen, pieces of the puzzles move, and corruption interferes, all these things. And I just noticed that happens a lot of like discrediting psychics and everything. And not to say that you have to be 100% on point all the time, but it's just something I want to throw out there. And I think I'm underestimating sometimes how corrupt systems can really be. But yeah, I guess we'll see. And it's really pissing me off, to be honest. Like, I want to say he's innocent. Is it possible that they can cover his ass and he can get off and everything? Highly possible. Anything's possible in this fucking world. And we already see it's just being highly delayed. And doesn't mean that we have to fuck with him still or believe what the cops are saying and none of that. No. I'm glad a lot of people are seeing through it. Some people really do think he's innocent, but we really have to define what innocent really is. Yeah. Until later. Oh wait, I want to pull some cards. Let's see. Is there something we should know right now about this case? I don't know. Maybe there's some good news to come still, or maybe maybe there's a lot of people losing hope. Obviously, I feel like that. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what to think. You just have to wait and see.